definitely recommend it. I have been informed that we're ready to go with the next run. So, we've got an any % casual speedrun of Xenoblade Chronicles Future Connected by AlexisGoesMoo. So, Alexis, whenever you're ready to go ahead, the floor is yours.
Alright. Hello. I am Alexis, and today we'll be doing Future Connected. Any % casual. So we'll go and start with 3, 2, 1, go. First thing is going to be a bit of a load. Quite a few of those in the early game, because I'm skipping a whole bunch of cutscenes. We're actually going to be at the end of Xenoblade 1, by the way. Like, this is literally just the ending of it, and then we skip it. And then we crash land somewhere. And the first thing is, turn on casual mode, because that makes it so we don't have something called agility penalties. So that means I don't have to go and level up close to the enemy. Also, I deal double damage and stuff. It's really useful. Now we're going to go and see what we need to do over here. We heard a cry for help. And I also have the story memo, which does a good job at informing me where we are. But anyway, this is the super fast part where we have to do a menu. Basically one of only 2 menus. First I'm going to switch around my party. Then we're going to go to arts, and I'm going to go and set up things to be more efficient for the run. And we get into our first fight. We use Shadow Eye. That's gonna lose aggro, so they'll stop attacking Shulk. And I'm gonna hit them from the side twice, then with something called Streamer, and we'll use Backslash. So I was gonna use Backslash on that one, but I had to move the way. But there we go. That fight is a little hectic compared to some of the others, unfortunately. But it went well. The other fights will have a better time to sort of get more into combat, but basically it's going to be a lot of aggro management and positioning. But more importantly, we have to go on a walk. You can't fight that dinosaur up there, unfortunately. They're also a really hard enemy, so it's good that we don't have to, but anyways, we met Nene and Kino, and they have joined our party. They're the children of a character from the base game named Reiki, but we'll only be seeing Nene for this one because Kino is a healer. Nene, however, is our tank, and she is going to be very, very important throughout the run. So now we're going to go to what's going to be Companion's Cape. This is like sort of the first town of the game, but we're not really going to ever enter it. In fact, what I'm going to do is as soon as we get here, when we get real close to it, I'm going to skip travel, just like the fast travel for Xenoblade, and it moves us right into the cutscene, and then we save like a few frames. Now we're going to go back to the chunks. That's where we crashed. And from here, we're going to jump off the water. You always want to jump in water because you swim a bit slow. Also, I just realized we could person cam. Well, in this case, I'm not quite doing it. It's just pretty silly. But our goal is to go to that gate where we're going to go and meet some characters that we'll collect throughout the run. And also, it looks like we got good luck. I don't want those enemies to see me, because they can sometimes have the game load a little slower if you enter a cutscene. So these are the pond specters. We'll only get a few of them throughout the run, but they're basically going to be party members that I can't control, that are going to go and help me unlock something called Union Strike later in the run, which will become our main damage dealing method. Alright, and just about done. So now we have Tento. This is going to be a tutorial explaining the punch vectors. We'll be getting 2 more of them, and it'll be quite a while until we get the next one. So now we're going to be formally in the Bionis Shoulder, which is going to be where we are through most of the game. This place was like cut content from the Wii release of this game, and then they remade it to be sort of a, like, I think it's like a year or 2 after the events of the main game. So we're going to go up to this rock. And that's going to get me a landmark for later. Then I'm going to turn over here, and we're going to go head towards another landmark. Early game is a lot of landmark grabbing, just to make it more convenient to walk to places later in the run. Alright, and our next landmark, it's gonna be, you'll be able to see it pretty soon. The big gate, it's kind of covered by that rock right now. But one thing that's silly about this game is we don't actually have to go, like, too close to the landmarks. They tend to give us access to them when we're really far away. So I'm not even gonna go that close to the gate. I'm gonna go basically just past those 2 enemies. I'm gonna try not to have them see me. Alright, so they did see me, but they didn't get close enough to attack. Then I'm gonna go try to avoid these enemies. And then we're gonna head up here. And our goal is to do a bit of a skip, which is going to be involving fall damage. Which is why I do not want to take too much damage from enemies. Alright, so we're gonna fall down here. And there's a big rock we can just fall on. Gonna wait till we lose the circle, then we're gonna heal back up. That way we can take this fall damage too. You can see with Nene being at 1 HP, probably because he fell from the whole height. It would normally take us out if we did it in one go. So it's really nice that there's like a ridge there. That goes and lets us skip like 2 or 3 minutes of walking. Which is very good because quite a lot of the early game is going to be going places. Like this area is pretty high level area. The enemies are like 10 levels above us, but thankfully nothing here is going to actually be able to like find us or catch us. Like we did get seen by an enemy, and there's this dinosaur ahead of us. They might see me. They can't do anything. These owls always see you. There's one of them, there's another one up there. And there's our goal. It's going to be to go into that quarry. Although we're not going to go into it right now, we're instead just going to get the landmark so we can go back here later for the story. Alright, got our landmark, and now we're going to go back to the very first one we got. And from here, we're going to head to Alchemoth, which is the big city that's, like, floating off to the side. So first, we go through this ruins. The one thing I always mention for this, or I always think about it because it's going to come up soon, is there's a really scary spider. And there's a lot of spiders in the ruins because this place is the birthplace of the giants, and they lost a war to giant spiders. So that means a lot of the ribbons in this area are gonna have them. But thankfully we just get to ignore everything. It'd be very bad. I kind of was afraid my controller would drift there. It would be very bad if I ever fell anywhere, because you basically would have to do a lot of walking again. We're up here, and I'm gonna wait until I get pretty close. And right around there, I'm gonna go and warp to Pillar Knoll. Ideally, you want to get it like around before the little icon appears. And now we get to go across a bunch of bridges. Because we need to get to that structure over there. That has teleporter, which will take us to Alchemoth. So yeah, this really long bridge. Then we have a little shorter of one. Alright, I like to see, will we make it before night? Basically, when it becomes 19, it's going to be nighttime. Alright, we did not get the nighttime thing. Because once we're in a combat, it won't pop up. Which is good, because it means you got here pretty fast. Alright, almost stop them off. Just have to go up a few ramps to climb up here. Also, kind of sad if we're going to leave soon, but I really like the music from this part. It plays some of the stuff from base game. Also, we're going to be chased by that. They're a little too slow, though, because they probably get, like, stuck on the building. Enemies tend to get actually stuck pretty easy in this game. But alright, we teleport it. And then we're going to immediately skip travel, and it's going to put us into the cutscene trigger. So it's going to save quite a bit of movement. And then we're going to go and start some optional stuff. I'm talking to Dry, one of the pun specters, because we do need to get 3 of different colors, and Dry's quests we don't have to fight. This area doesn't have any enemies that spawn in it at this point. So I can just kind of collect these little item orbs, the red ones over there, with no enemies attacking. There's our second one. We also do need to get that landmark, as we'll be getting back there fairly shortly. Our fourth one over here. And then we go and do our skip travel. Because even though we're really close, skip traveling loads so quickly that we can just go right here. And we were doing this because Dry wants to have like a High-Entian crown. So we got him some feathers. And now he will come and join us. And now we get to go and actually do some plot stuff. We heard another cry for help, and we assume this is the Fog King who shot down our ship. So you can see there's a big rift, and we're gonna head towards that and fight an enemy fairly soon. There they are. They're gonna be what is called a fog beast. We'll fight some more of them later as well. So first, I'm gonna do focus attacks. It just makes the party more aggressive. And then I'm gonna go and use some side arts. And now you can use something on Eater. This does a damage over time effect, which is not going to get aggro on Chalk. Then we hit from the side again, and then I hit from Backslash, and Stream Edge, and then I'm just going to use the Day's Art. Going through it is odd. But basically, I want to do little aggro so that I can use the good arts on the enemy, but unfortunately they died a lot faster than I thought they would. So now we save someone named Talene, and we're gonna go to their lab, and they know someone who might know how to fight the Fog King, because that wasn't the Fog King, that was just like a bird that was afflicted by the Fog King. And the real Fog King, our attacks just go through them, so we can't do any damage. And Talene knows someone who is trying to find a way to attack the Fog King. So we go to the lab, we meet some characters, and then immediately we're going to go back to going to another town. So going to go to Pillar Null. I'm going to do some more stuff at fall damage. I'm going to go to the right of this tree, and then we're just going to go and walk forward. I think I one time did this and didn't walk forward, and I ended up dying. So I guess it's like pretty close to the limit of fall damage. Alright, that bang is close, but not close enough to hit me. That's good. If it hits you, all you have to do is you jump. That kind of cancels the animation. And there is Grandel. It's, well, the top of Grandel. We don't actually get to go to that part, sadly. But that's our objective. And in this town, we're going to actually be in quite a bit more than we were for Companion's Cape. This is going to be sort of the focus of the second half of Feature Connected. Right when we get to these ramparts. You can't get into here till after this, since that rampart, you don't go through the big door, we go through a little door for now one. Now we can go back here whenever we'd like. So we're gonna go through that little building, we're gonna jump in there, and that will get us to Grandel. I always like this town because it reminds me of something from Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles, which also has the word Del in it. So we're gonna go and skip travel here to save some more movement, then go for this cutscene. And from here, we're going to do some of our last optional stuff for the run. First, we're going to go and buy a weapon for Nene. It's not terribly important, but it does make a lot of the fights faster by a few seconds. Then we're going to get that landmark. And now we're going to head and get our third Pond Sector before continuing the story. It's going to be someone named Tutu. So I'm going to jump before I enter the water because it saves a little bit. And head towards this island. One of the nice things about this game is the quest objectives are there before you start the quest. So our goal is to get Tutu's mirror so he doesn't has something to stare at himself with. Because he's not going to leave the water until he has his mirror to stare at himself with. So we're going to go over here. And avoid this. There's going to be a big turtle. And I do not want the turtle to attack me. Because when you're in combat, you can't pick up items. So we're going to go and get the item. Go skip travel to right where we are. Just to reset the enemies. So that we don't get attacked when we get close here. And now head to 2-2. Some of these enemies, there's a unique monster that can spawn, and they will attack. And if I were to have lingered around or not skip travel, that might have happened. But doing it like this, we don't have to worry about that. And so we got our pawn inspectors. I did a tutorial on Union Strikes. And we'll be seeing that very shortly. So here's Ransome. Izu has the ideas on how to fight the Fog King, but first we have to take out some Fog Beast. Art. And I'm going to upgrade all the arts that we're going to use the most throughout the fights. We don't really get many uses per fight because how quick the fights are, so I'm only going to prioritize just a few of them. And then we're going to go back to Soldier Seal Island and begin our Fog Beast fights. This one's a little scary for an early game fight. I mean, you use Shadow Eye after the auto attack, and then we'll use the side arts and then hopefully backslash them. Alright, and then we're gonna hit them with Buster. That's gonna hit both enemies. And then Soul Stream Edge. Alright, and after Bolt, I'm gonna switch the party to the other enemy. And then we're just gonna clean them up with some arts. Alright, that's our first Fog Beast. Then we're gonna go back to Grandel. Because it turns out the influence spread really far, so like, some of our farm animals are now Fog Beast. We use Shadow Eye, use aggro, use side arts, and then hit backslash, Dream Edge, and switch targets. Helmet ran away. And then next up is going to be a more formal boss fight with Simone and Gelgar. They've been kind of stalking the party throughout the run, and they're going to burn down Talene's laboratory, and then we're going to go and fight them. Wait, they burned it down after. Oops. That's because the lab is still there. But this is Union Strike. It's going to be a quick time event. And I'm going to hopefully do a lot of damage to this. Alright, so now we're going to go and finish the fight off. So on the backslash. And that's something called Burst Affinity. Sometimes it activates, and it gives you a chance to really fill up that meter, which when that's full, you get to do a Union Strike. In fact, I'm trying to keep it full, because it actually kind of plays a role into a boss fight coming up very soon. So it's actually really nice that it's full. But anyways, now that we took care of the Fog Beast, we're gonna go and continue our quest to go and fight the Fog King. And with this, we're gonna talk to a few people, because we're looking for a cave with a really big crystal, and we can use that to make Shulk's sword, the Monado, hit the Fog King. So we talk to that one soldier, then he tells us to speak to this other soldier over here, and he also doesn't know where to go, but he does know this old woman named Sarja, and she actually does know something that's sort of like what we're looking for. So we're gonna go over to this graveyard to find her. think that's actually a pretty rare find, by the way. Here is Arja, and the challenge is going to be to talk to her. You don't want her to be facing behind, because basically she turns, and it does take a little bit of time. We got a pretty good position, though. Now we get back to the quarry that we went to a long time ago. And this is going to be where the giant crystal is. It's also a really high-level dungeon, and we also can't do the quest until we are not under combat. So our goal is going to be to die when we get to that crystal. Well, to a landmark near the crystal. So I stayed near that egg, so I'm still in combat, so I didn't heal. And then I'm going to let that enemy hit me. And hopefully some other enemies hit me as well. Alright, they hit me quite a bit. Actually, I'm going to do this little bit of different movement. And we're going to get here. And then hopefully we get finished off. And as you can see, we got a landmark. So now we're right behind all the enemies without fighting them. And we also got to our crystal. And now we can go back to Grandel. And we're going to go to Razdem, but as soon as we do this, a bunch of fog beasts are going to start attacking. So we're going to kind of run around multiple different towns to go and prevent them. First is going to be the ramparts. And this fight I'm going to be doing a bit of a different strat than usual. So we're going to do is kind of similar to most fights. I'm going to lose aggro, but I'm not going to use Shadow Eye this time. We're going to wait till Nene topples. And now I'm going to be trying to build up my gauge as fast as I can. And Union Strike the Mammoth. This is a bit of a silly strat, but it can potentially be fast if you get good gauge for Gelgar. So normally you would not do this, but because we want to Union Strike the next boss, but we have some setups that make Union Striking this boss, the Antle King, pretty consistent, and I'll hopefully get us cut off. I'm going to use Stream Edge, and that's going to break the enemies. See a little symbol above them. That's going to help me topple them. Then Aratos is going to give us some gauge. And then from here, we're going to be trying to build up gauge. So we just need a little more. Oh, we got Burst Affinity, but we got it a little late. But we did get our Union Strike. And that is our Antle King. A little bit silly with the gauge put up, but still went well. And in the case of the next boss, it's going to be a giant dinosaur. And this one we always do with empty gauge, but we have a new setup for it. So we're going to skip this cutscene. We're also back to the ramparts already. So we went from Ramparts Companion Fate to Ramparts. So I'm going to target the dinosaur. I'm going to auto I'm going to go and use Stream Edge and break all of the bangs. And then we're going to use Cyclone like we did before. And then I'm going to Shadow Eye, and from here on we're basically just going to use our side arts from the side to get the gauge up. Alright, that was really fast build up this time. And I missed a little bit, but it should be okay, as long as it takes out the things. Alright, and we toppled them. And I'm gonna hopefully get some gauge from this fight. We got, like, 1 bar. Pretty good. And we got, like, a bar and a half. That's actually really nice. Because, that is the second to last boss fight. And the last boss fight we need quite a bit of gauge for. So we're gonna go back to Alchemoth. As, you might have seen, it was once really annoying for a little bit, but we did get our Monado upgraded, and now we can attack the Fog King Or rather, we'll have a cutscene where Shulk, like, hits some button stuff on it and it makes the Fog King vulnerable. So we're gonna be going right where we were when we were last in Alchemoth, but there's no more cutscenes, so we're gonna just head right into this building. And for Marathon's safety, I want to enter with basically full gauge for the final boss. So I'm going to go and fight this enemy. So we're going to lose aggro. These are 2 side arts. And I'm just going to wait around. I don't want to use backslash even though it would give me gauge, because it's going to give me a lot of aggro. Alright, we have 2 side arts and I should be basically full after this. Alright, we can run away now. Alright, now it's full. It's gonna take a variable amount of pretty quick. And from here onward, we are going to be going to a teleporter. And that's gonna start our final boss fight. Alright, we got about average. When you aren't in combat, the gauge does start going down. Usually around that part of the way we get out of combat. So this fight, the reason I want to have gauge so much is because the Fog King summons knights. And they do that at the very start, and they are very scary. So I'm going to hit them from the side twice, and hopefully that's enough to get my gauge full. Alright, I actually got in 1, so I interrupted my own. As I'd also, there's a second phase. And I also got full for that. So I'm going to use Shadow Eye, as I'd like to start building up gauge. Alright, so after a flare, you see she used a spear break, and sadly was blocked. Oh wait, actually went for a nice. Well, it actually didn't work, but she got a hit. The topple is Fog King, that's the only way to topple them. Alright, next I do not have eyebrow. Amazing to see, Fog King's arts, they take a while to go and cast. So it's really important to not have eyebrow. Also, I'm waiting for Shulk to get his tension up. Because sometimes I see he looks sad, that means he has low tension. That's a really bad thing since it lowers our agility. But thankfully, since I have full gauge, it shouldn't play a role in this fight. So this time I'm only going to use Silt Edge. That lowers defense sometimes. And actually that time, pretty good. And then we're going to open Union Strike. There's 3 knights. And this will wipe them all out. And then we're gonna have to do another Union Strike, because this one has way more health. So I'm gonna kind of run to the side. What are you gonna do, Fog King? Okay, it took a while to make up their mind. Wait, they're back to Shulk. Well, we got First Affinity, but I haven't used many arts. Alright, there's Spear Break. And so I'm gonna topple them. And do our second Union Strike. Bit of a weird fight, but they just don't seem to want to do any arts. So anyways, notice I might have not used Shadow Eye yet. That's because I'm saving it for later. And by later I mean right about now. That way I won't have aggro for the second phase of the fight. Although, it might not matter because they use Convergence Beam. This move is kind of harmless because it just is a long time and it doesn't do a lot of damage. And also, time is right about now. I accidentally skipped the ending. Whoops. But yeah. That is feature connected any percent. casual. Hopefully that did a decent enough job explaining the run. It's pretty fun to do since it's not as long as like other Xenoblade games and other RPG runs in general. But there's also some longer categories like all pawn inspectors or 100%. If you like the gameplay and want to do some more fights in it. And then yeah, there's also normal mode where you do have agility penalties and you have to do a lot of grinding stuff in it, like launching enemies off cliffs. It's pretty funny looking though. And yeah, thanks for having me. Hopefully people enjoyed watching some future connected runs.
All right, that was Xenoblade Chronicles Future Connected. The pretty nice run, short run to watch. Just want to let everybody know we've got 2 more runs this fine evening. So up next is a hard showcase of Spin Rhythm XD, and we'll be closing out day 3 with Sonic Generations, Blaze Percent, all modern stages and bosses. Just thought I'd put it out there also. Let me take a little look at the incentive. We do have an incentive to play all the Unleashed day stages in the Sonic Generations run. I think Unleashed was the one where Sonic turned into a werewolf. So we're currently 60 for $80 to meet that incentive. So if you want to see some more Sonic, I definitely recommend pitching in what you can toward that incentive. All proceeds are going towards the Go Rescue Pet Adoption Center. Excuse me, sorry. We're raising money for Go Rescue, and this is a dog shelter that is working to provide a haven for homeless dogs, giving them the time, care, and love they need, not just to find any home, but the right home. The doggos appreciate all the donations that have come in, and everybody who's tuned in over these past few days. I'm sure we also really appreciate taking the time out of your day to watch all these amazing runs this week. All right, everybody. It was a brief time for me, but I'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow, right? Yeah. Briefly lost the idea of what time was for a minute. I'm handing things off over to Fox Rocks, who will be hosting for the remainder of the marathon today. So thanks for having me, and best of luck closing things out.
Thank you so much, lab member, for helping us today, and with that short but sweet shift. As was just said, I am your host for the remainder of tonight. My name is Fox Rocks, and we are coming up next, setting up for Spin Rhythm XD. That is a hard showcase that is being done by Salkuthmind. I'm really excited for that. Remember what we're here for. We are here to raise money for Go Rescue Pet Adoption Center here at No Holidays Allowed, which is a nonprofit no-kill animal shelter in Virginia. Make sure to get your donations in. Every single cent of that is going towards our great charity. Speaking of donations, we still have plenty of incentives for your donations open currently. We have Sonic Generations Play All of the Unleashed day stages. That is currently $20 away. That run is coming up after Spin Rhythm XD, so you only have a brief time to get any donations to get that goal met. Personally, I would love to see that goal get met. For anybody who has seen any little bit of Sonic speedrunning or just Sonic Unleashed in general, you know the day stages. They go fast and are some of the best stages, some would argue, in modern Sonic history. So get your donations in to get that goal met. We also have open goals for SpongeBob SquarePants, Battle for Bikini Bottom, True Any Percent, I believe that is a category upgrade, and Payday 3, final level upgrade to Overkill. For that SpongeBob incentive, we are currently, I believe, $15. Yes, $15. I can definitely do math away from that goal. And for Payday 3, we need $50 to hit that goal. We also still have polls open. We have one for Sticky Business to choose a pride flag, where currently the asexual flag is in the lead with $10, and the non-binary flag is trailing behind with $7.77. We still have plenty of time to change the tide of that, so definitely get your donations in if you would like to see something different. We also have the poll over for picking M-Chan's game. That is a choice between New Super Luigi U and New Super Mario Bros. 2. Currently, New Super Luigi U is winning with $10, while Super Mario Bros. 2 is trailing behind. That is a run coming up later tomorrow. Both of those are excellent runs, but definitely a choice there to see your favorite run by M-Chan. M-Chan is a great runner, and of course we love all of our runners who help us out here at No Glitches Allowed. We also have Super Mario Bros. Wonder character choice. Currently Toadette is leading with $88, followed closely by Mario at $50, Luigi at $40, Peach at $35, and finally Daisy with $10. Really fascinating whole race there. Really could see a shakeup. Would be very interesting to see that happen in the results. So definitely, if you want to see a different character, get your donations in for that. And there's also the Nippon Marathon for character choice, where I will absolutely butcher every single name in this list, but I am going to try. Currently in the lead is Sunuguru Maestro with $20, and I think anybody who knows Japanese just cringed, so I am sorry. But these are all excellent incentives we have for you to donate towards. Remember when you are donating that you can donate towards both a target and a poll. So make sure your donation just go that little bit farther. And of course, every single one of your donations is going to support Go Rescue Pet Adoption Center. Just another reminder that we're here raising funds for Go Rescue. Go Rescue's website has its own section for adoption success stories. While we get set up for the next run, please go and check out gorescuedogs.com/success stories for some adorable pictures and heartwarming tales.